you stop naturally because of that outdoor wall.
So it's actually just coming in right here.
Yeah, really kind of from like here to here. See where this is solid wall right here.
Okay. All right, I'll show the guys. Anytime you have wood that meets concrete, or two concrete products that meet, anytime you have two building materials that come together, you're going to probably have a place that's going to not be watertight. We were at this home 2 years prior, and there was a lot of landscape up against the wall of this new addition, and they were getting a lot of water into this new addition of this house. This is a beautiful home in Bloomfield Hills, Michigan. And 2 years ago, we came out, removed that landscape, and we ran a drain down the side of that new addition, and we took care of all the water problems. Now this giant patio that's lifted in tiers, that's built up against the house. What happened was they didn't build it with 1 to 3 inch stone like we do. When we do lifts like this, we use 1 to 3 inch stone. That way water can't hang around. It just falls through all the big voids in stone. Water can't pool in stone. It's impossible. Well, what happened was they backfilled with dirt. They didn't do the stone. After all the air pockets disappeared, and that takes a few years, the water couldn't get out anymore. There was no more air pockets for it to travel through. And the water would just lay up against the house, and it would find its way into this new addition. So, excavation, there's a lot of just exploring to see what's there. I don't know how this addition was built. I wasn't there for it. The homeowner, he was busy making a living so that he could pay for the new addition. We're basically unearthing everything to see what we can find. We know the water's still getting in. Sure enough, the brick veneer, it's up on the brick ledge. It's leaking right where the brick veneer and the brick ledge meet. So we start to take the wall apart. You can see all the pieces of natural stone. And you can see we don't have our equipment in on this job. It's all labor intense. I mean, it's all handwork. You can't get equipment in here. And the nature of this job, you really couldn't even use the equipment, even if you could get it down into this pit patio. We're taking apart the bottom tier. We're connecting to our drain that we put in 2 years ago. And then we're going to have to start taking apart some of the upper tier, but we want to be very strategic about it. We want to be as least invasive as possible. I don't want to, have to remove a bunch of landscape, tear the entire retaining wall down. You could, but you can see what we did. We went and undermined the wall. Right there is where the water's getting in, where the brick veneer meets the concrete wall. So we were able to work a few pieces of rock loose, and we dug up underneath the retaining wall. We were digging at the top of the retaining wall as well, and we got rid of all the dirt that was in the corner up against this house. The guys worked really hard to undermine that retaining wall and not compromise the structure. We got a guy up at the top, he's digging. Got a guy at the bottom. Look at that big gap between the brick veneer and the wall, the poured wall. So now we're going to seal where the brick veneer and the poured wall end up meeting. Lexel is the best for this. It's a 2-week cure, but what's great about that, instead of drying quickly and being hard like concrete, and it just literally doesn't hold very well, and it's not watertight, Lexel takes a couple weeks to cure, and it stays rubbery. It stays elastic, and it is so strong. If you try to pull two bricks apart that you bonded together with this Lexel, it'll rip the material right out of the brick. It won't tear the Lexel. So it's the best bond there is to use. We endorse it. I give it my highest endorsement. There's really not even a distant second to it. It's Lexel or nothing for us. So in the event that you need to seal up some areas of your home, this Lexel is a fantastic building material that works on wood and concrete and block. We turn the hose on. We're running a hose wide open, and we want to make sure we got a clear path of travel for this water. We want the water to be able to run behind the retaining wall, run down into our system through all the stone, be collected in a perforated pipe, and there's a lift station hidden underneath the bluestone on this patio. So we're waiting for the water to show so that we can make sure we do have a clear path, there's no issues, and we don't want the water to pool up or pond. Sure enough, we start to get water. There you go. We're moving water. The water's got a direct path. It picks up. As the hose continues to run, the water's picking up. We're in good shape. The water's not hanging around. It's not sticking around. It's not laying anywhere. It's not building up anywhere. That's when you have problems.
I can't be happier. You put me on your video.
All right, that's a testimony from the customer. He said he can't be happier.
Be happier right now.
Awesome.
Thank you, Bob and crew.
Our schedule was really booked, and this homeowner waited several months for us. But there's a reason for that. We solved water problems in the past that other guys couldn't figure out. They just didn't have the skill set, the experience, or the knowledge. This homeowner waited for us, and I appreciate his business, and I'm really thankful that, he found value in us and was willing to wait a few months. We'll be back in the spring to do some more work for him, but we're going to pocket behind this retaining wall and up against his house with our fabric, and then we're just going to put our round rock, our 1.5 inch round rock. We're filling this entire void that we created. So the water, instead of getting trapped up against the wall of the house, it's just going to fall through that vein of stone, travel to that lift station under the patio, and then the lift station lifts that water and takes it to a leach field, leach well. The thing I love most about my job is the fact that we can help homeowners. They have their dream home. They have this beautiful dream home. In this case, an addition put on their dream home with beautiful landscape. And the last thing you want is something like a water problem to spoil it all for you. And that's exactly what happened. The homeowner had to cut the drywall inside the house, had to cut it along the floor, try to find where the leak is coming in. I believe there were a couple of contractors through there, I think indoor plumbing, things like that. And what was fantastic, the homeowner had a relationship with us already. And even though we were booked to the point to where we couldn't take any more work for the year, we told him if he could wait until we could just squeeze him in, we would help him out. So it makes me feel so good to be able to help the homeowners out. He's back to loving his house. Him and his wife, they're back to just loving their home. They love their home, everything about it. And with the water problem now fixed, it's just pure enjoyment. Just go ahead and redo the drywall, new flooring in the basement down there, and just enjoy it. Sit in this beautiful outdoor living space and just enjoy it. No longer have to worry when you have a big rain event. You're trying to fall asleep. You hear some thunder, some lightning. You got a storm rolling in. And what do you got to do? You got to panic and get towels down because you know you're going to end up with water in your home. That's a terrible feeling. So, I encourage all homeowners to address their water problems as a priority so that they can continue to enjoy their beautiful home. Don't neglect anything that's water. I know it's the last place you want to spend your money, but it's probably your biggest investment in life. It is most people's, your home. Lexel used to be a contractor's best kept secret, and now it's sold everywhere.